First off, I just want to say thank you so much to each and every member of the Creator Crew for helping Creator Fundamentals reach 50,000 subscribers. In this video, I want to share with you 5 tips that I've picked up along the way. YouTube Simplified. Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Courier, and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. And if you want to receive future notifications on content that can provide you tips, texts, and tutorials to help you simplify YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. All right, so 50,000 subscribers is a major accomplishment. I'm so excited to be there here on Creator Fundamentals. Who knew that this was even possible a short 30 months ago when this channel started? But with your support and hard work and dedication to continually putting out content that can help all of us as creators move forward, we're here. So I want to share with you 5 tips that can help your channel get to 50,000 subscribers. All right, so first off, number 1 tip, this is going to be contrary to what you might hear from people because a lot of people love to romanticize hustle. And yes, you do have to work hard. You do have to put in the effort to get here, but it's also important that you're kind to yourself. Now, what I mean by that is you don't want to just go 110% right out of the gate as hard as you can, because ultimately what happens is people get in over their head, they commit to too much, and then they burn out easily. And if you burn out completely, you're much more likely to just walk away and never return. So it is good to have a schedule, but sometimes real life gets in the way, you're just not feeling it, and it's okay to be kind to yourself and say, hey, let's do this tomorrow instead. All right, so you do have to be accountable for yourself here. Obviously, nobody else is going to step in and put you back in front of the camera, so you don't just want to keep taking breaks and never get any work done. You do want to get work done, but sometimes you're just not in the mood to get in front of the camera. And the reality is, if that's how you're feeling on any given day, trying to force yourself to do it is going to show up on camera, and it's probably not worth it anyway. All right, tip number 2 is long-term goals. People get so caught up in how many subscribers they have, how many their neighbor has, or the people who are doing similar content. And hey, it's really important for you to not be so caught up in the here and now and look towards some long-term goals to help you stay focused. Like, what is your long-term goal? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you want to earn $100,000 a year on YouTube? It is possible you can get there, but you really need to set that as a long-term goal so you can start to reverse engineer it and see what pieces you have to put in place to make it happen. And hey, we always talk about how much your channel can change based on a single video, and that's absolutely true. I've been there a number of times. I've had videos that have gone viral within my niche and gained considerably more traffic and attention than a lot of the other videos on my channel. But tip number 3 really comes down to what happens after that video goes viral. And I'm not talking about shaking hands and kissing babies here. What I'm talking about is that trough, that downward slope after you've had that amazing success. And in most cases, that does happen and you need to be prepared for it. So tip number 3 is all about mental perspective. You have to understand that there are going to be low points and you want to be prepared for them, because there's nothing worse than riding that high to being on top of the world, thinking you've made it, and then all of a sudden that suggested video dries up, or all that traffic and attention starts to dry up. And in a lot of cases, at least on my channel, I found that you're going along at a certain clip, you have something that kind of takes off, and usually on the downside, on the backside of all of that success, sometimes your channel can drop below the success that you were having prior to it. So you really have to have your head in the game and not get discouraged, because there are going to be those times when you are faced with adversity, and it's what you do during that time that's really going to set you up for success or failure. And if you've been subscribed to this channel for any amount of time, you know that I reinforce this all the time. I've had conversations with my brother, who's recently started a YouTube tips channel called Tips for Tubers, about this, and that is the idea that you make improvements over time. Now, everybody is going to start out making crappy videos. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. It's a good thing to be able to look back at those crappy videos and see how far you've come. In fact, in just a few videos, I've been able to see massive improvement on my brother's channels based on the idea of improving over time. That is is tip number 4. Make sure you are focused on making small improvements over time. I don't need you to go out there and become Peter McKinnon or Casey Neistat. I need you to look at your last video and say, oh, that lighting really wasn't where I wanted it to be. Maybe I can shift the lighting, or maybe I can try a different lighting source, or maybe I can face the open window. All these little tweaks that you can make to really help you move forward. And again, they don't have to be massive. And maybe the next video, you still don't quite get the lighting where you want it, but you keep tweaking. You tweak with every video. You don't let imperfections stop you from uploading, because that is how you completely stop progress. You need to be able to keep moving forward even when things aren't perfect. And then as long as you identify those imperfections and you think about ways to improve them in the next video, you're going to do just fine. And tip number 5 here on YouTube is that change is inevitable. YouTube will be constantly tweaking things, as we've seen recently with FTC and COPPA. There will always be changes either from the government or the YouTube's platform that is going to cause us to rethink how we are approaching what we do here on YouTube. Now, that doesn't mean you need to freak out and start screaming from the rooftops, oh my gosh, this is the end of YouTube. What are we going to do? I can't believe they did this to all of us. Sometimes YouTube does some questionable things, but it's still on us to have our own individual responsibility and our own drive to move forward and continue to make content by adapting to these changes as they show up. And I know it's easy to look at these situations and go, this really could be the end of YouTube. But at the end of the day, even if you don't have a positive view on YouTube, think about it this way. YouTube is in business to make money. So the entire YouTube platform is dependent on creators, because creators make the content that advertising appears on. Advertising is what brings in the money. And trust me, if you think YouTube is going to walk away from all this dough, you really don't understand how the world works. So just remember, your best bet on the platform is to not get too high, not get too low. Take the ebbs and flows and changes on YouTube as they come along, and do your best to respond to them in the most logical and controlled way possible. There will be times when things seem awful or the worst yet, and the reality is they will pass, and you will find a way forward if you're focused on that as a goal. Hey, let me know in the comments below how many subscribers you have right now and what your next subscriber goal is. I'd love to hear what those goals are and what you're doing to help you reach them. And hey, maybe you're not quite ready to tackle 50,000 subscribers yet, so I'm going to put a playlist right here that shows you a number of different videos on how I reached different milestones along the way. I'll see you in the next video.